Welcome back in, guys. American Truck Simulator. All right, it's been a few days. Been working on a couple other little projects, but it's good to be back. And as a refresher, we just made our way down to Billings, Montana. Bank balance at almost 80,000. And we're going to see if we can take a job down into Wyoming. I really apologize if you hear some dogs in the background. I got 2 of them this week. There's not much I can do about that other than locking them inside of a room. Okay, let's check the freight market. They're fighting. All right, Billings and the best rates. Okay, that's solid. Riverton, Wyoming. It's high value. It's heavy, articulating. Taken a good bit of that type of cargo recently, I feel like. Ooh, back to Idaho Falls. There's a short one to Cody. Making good money. I really like the look of that one too. Making 15,000. Going to Gillette, Wyoming. This is sort of the east side of the state. We've only got 20 minutes until that one expires, though. I don't like our chances there. Might do this one to Riverton. We've got 2 hours to pick it up. And we've got almost 48 hours to complete it, because we will have to squeeze in a rest here, I think. Ooh, it's 89,000 pounds. That's a bit too much. Wow, how is that for a job? Can we do that in an episode? I think so. Huh. Only 35,000 pounds. We got 2 hours to pick it up, and we got a lot of days to complete it. We're going to do it. I'm going to take a big old job. I think this is the biggest contract we've taken so far. In our new black truck. Well, new look black truck. And you might notice I switched up the resolution again. I like playing in ultra wide. I think there's some arguments for it being captured that way. Oops, sorry, Mustang. And I'm not sure how long it's been. I didn't check before coming on here, but I think it's been, at least 2 or 3 days since we've posted the last episode. I just want to take a look. There is... Yeah, why don't we go straight ahead? We've got some type of cutscene. Not sure if this is a straight ahead lane. I think so. It's a loan installment. That skate park, and we noticed coming in. Okay, I see the cutscene point back there. Not sure if we can pull in. Yeah, I think so. Oh. So one way. Perfect. Not sure the next time we'll be in Billings, so we want to grab this. What do we got? City of Billings. Lovely little town. One of those orange tiled roofs, it looks like. Wow, what a big plant. Is that a power plant or some type of manufacturing? That's giant. Okay. We're actually 36 minutes out from picking up our cargo. Oh, is this a one-way? My mistake. I'm sorry, guys. Are we about to get ticketed here? Well, let's get off of that. It's still really weird to me doing these episodes and talking for an hour straight, in some cases an hour and a half straight. But there's quite a few of you who are tuning in, which is pretty amazing. But I just rant for that whole time or try to tell stories or that type of thing. And it could just be dead air for a while. That's okay as well. I don't know. We haven't done that up until now, so I think I'll just continue to chat about whatever's on my mind or whatever's going on until I hear otherwise from you guys. So yeah, my parents are celebrating their 70th birthdays and their 50th wedding anniversary all this year. And so it's a big one. And they're celebrating as we speak, heading out to the West Coast, going on a cruise out of Seattle up to Alaska. And I don't know how long. I think they're going to be gone like 10 days or something. But no one from our family's ever done that. Been on cruises before. Been down to Mexico, who knows how many times, lots of times. But never Alaska, never that way. And I always joke and say that's God's country. Excuse me. It's just so untouched and pure, and I think marvelous is maybe a word for it. Wow, I need a drink. I haven't talked very much today, I guess. Sorry. I think it's hard to see that kind of land up there and not be in awe. The mountains, the oceans, the forests, rocks, like, hey, just the kind of country that almost no one sees. Even if you live in a rural area of North America, we just don't see country like that. And we're not connected to nature and to the reality in some ways like that. I don't know why that makes me think of the Counting Crows line. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. And that's essentially what we've done as a whole. So that should be a memorable trip. Really glad that they're going on it. But all of that means that I've got their dog. So aside from my little guy, they have an 11-pound Maltese. And she is a drama queen. Quite a little diva. A lot more noisy than my guy too. And they like to play, which is awesome. Like, I'm happy for that. They just wear each other out. But you'll hear them. The little pattering of their paws. They run around and wrestle and growl at each other and stuff. There's a couple cowboys. This is a big delivery. Kind of excited about this. This might get us to our next big decision. So this one here, and we're heading back to Idaho. That's kind of exciting too. Only about 35,000 pounds. It's a pretty nice horse animation in the background. Okay, we're ready to go. And before we do that, though, let's really kind of map out what we're doing. A long trip. So we are going to be on Highway 90 until we go through Bozeman. It's a new place. We're going to be discovering some good new roads here, at least for a little while. And in fact, we could detour if we wanted to discover more. Now, we've already got this road, so that doesn't really help us. I'm just trying to think. Could go on a big detour up and across, down. I don't think that's necessary. All of this, I think, is new. And yeah, that's fine. And we'll just go the west of the way into Boise. So we're going to be on Highway 90, then on 20 and 30. A lot of different changes. But we're going to need a rest and fuel, probably. Can we make it to Bozeman? Let's see how far this is. Yeah, that's only 3.5 hours. And we've got about 7 until rest, I want to say. 7 until rest. 11.5 hour trip, but we're going to go 3.5 hours today at least. But at least we mapped it out, and we'll try to keep ourselves from getting in real trouble. Actually, yeah, let's go it this way. I might make a quick coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's better. I got myself a coffee brewed, ready to hit the road. Might help with my throat a little bit. So what are we going to do after this delivery? It's something like 34,000 maybe. We get our loan paid off for sure. And then I'm not certain about the next step still. We've meandered about the idea back and forth. Getting a trailer versus getting some drivers. Honestly, I'm still not decided. Like right now as we speak, I'm thinking, well, let's get some drivers. Get some passive income. It'd be a lot more expensive though. And I do still want the trailer idea. No, we're not going to risk it. But I think we can turn on a right. Hopefully. Watch our mirrors. We got space. Okay. Who knows, but I think we'll get some good freeway driving in this episode. Truck moved over there, really nice. I've been working on a little project the last couple days. I had mentioned it once or twice that I dreamt of playing The Witcher 3. Like, in videos, I mean. At this point, I've owned several copies because of multiple console copies, and then I think even multiple PC copies because of just having different accounts, and over the course of 8 or 9 years, I think between all of them, I'm probably approaching 1,000 hours, at least 600 or 700. But despite all that, I haven't actually beaten it, along with the DLC, for at least 3, possibly up to 5 years. Played it a ton of times, but it's a long game, and so I just never make it that far. Pull into a way station here, no problem. And so I've been itching to get to the late game and to properly beat it again. But another development is that I started messing around with no HUD. I've probably played at least 10 hours that way, I would think. And so that means no minimap, no health bars, nothing, absolutely nothing on the screen. And it doesn't even come up situationally, it's never on the screen. So it completely changes the gameplay. It brings about a lot of immersion. But it's challenging and it takes longer, having to map out your routes and base all your movement off of landmarks, sense of direction, heading northeast, southwest. So that's what I'm doing. I've started a series, I recorded a few episodes, and it's got a bit of a unique hook, being no HUD, hardcore, no fast travel. I'm not sure that I'm happy with it. I don't think I am. I think the video quality has come out pretty well, but again, the audio is not the best. But I just feel it'll never be the right time. I'll never be happy with it. And so I just said, screw it. I'm just going to post them. Because I want to play the game, and therefore I'm just going to start. And so hopefully, like, the series will only get better as I play around with things and get the levels better in terms of audio, like in post-production. Just some simple things that I can improve on. And even me as a commentator and gameplay and stuff, that one thing is reading a lot of text. It's something I never do, like reading out loud. And I would venture to guess the majority of you never read significant amounts of text out loud. Unless you're in a job that requires it, it's just not very normal in adulthood. I guess potentially with kids, you read them bedtime stories and stuff. I guess that's has potential, but I've realized it's a bit of a muscle that I have not been exercising, the one that I need to flex and get back in shape. So that's been a thing in that series. If you've never watched, seen, played The Witcher 3, don't go check it out. I doubt you would enjoy it, but if you're someone who has ever enjoyed single player, story driven action RPGs. So the old Assassin's Creed franchise is a good example. Then Ghost of Tsushima, Batman Arkham, God of War, single player games that are story driven and they're action based RPGs. That's what this is. Except it truly is, in my opinion and many others, the greatest game of all time. It's a bold statement. It's frankly kind of an annoying statement. That kind of thing gets thrown around too much, but I firmly believe it. There's not even a close second. It's the best story I've ever seen in a video game. It's the best depth and character building. You just care about everything and everyone. And I held off for years, by the way. Like, I kept seeing it on every single top 10 list and like just top anything in games. It would always make the list, and it would kind of annoy me because, yeah, I keep hearing about it and blah, blah. It's apparently so good. But it didn't appeal to me because it's like, okay, you're slaying monsters. And I mean, even later, like the vampires and stuff, that I'm not so much into the fantastical. Like, I don't mind some of it. There's a fair bit of content, movies, TV, games, where some fantasy is welcome, and I do enjoy it. But that's not my main thing. I'm more like historical and realism. I prefer it to be grounded. And so right off the bat, there were some elements of it where I'm like, man, that's not really my jam. But finally I caved after seeing it in a top 10 whatever thing, like for the 100th time. I knew absolutely, positively nothing about The Witcher. Never read a book. The show wasn't out yet. Hadn't played the first 2 games. I knew nothing other than some clips and short little things in these highlight videos that I still knew nothing. And that was the perfect way to go into it. So I kind of had low expectations, but I felt obligated to give it a shot. And man, I don't think I was even like an hour in, 2 hours in, where I was like, oh fuck, this is okay, I'm in. It immediately made me care about the relationships and what was going on and all the dynamics. And it's very complicated, parts of it, like the political aspects and the war going on. And there's a lot of things I didn't really understand. Wow, that's cool. Guy pulled over here and there was a road triangle on the shoulder. I didn't understand so much of it my first time through, and it didn't even matter. I also played on too easy of a difficulty. Like, I played on normal, which means you don't even have to engage whatsoever with big sections of the game, like alchemy and crafting, casting signs, using bombs, potions, none of it. You don't have to. And I didn't. And so since then, I've learned that really the only way you can play that game is on the hardest difficulty. And not because it's a flex, but because then you actually act like a Witcher. Like, you have to read the bestiary to figure out, well, what's a Noon Wraith? Like, what are the weaknesses? I got to apply this blade oil and use this particular bomb and like fully prepare. Otherwise you get punished. When you play on an easier difficulty, you can just brute force your way through absolutely everything. You just kind of hack and slash and you're fine. But if you have interest, have ever had interest in single-player, story-driven games, regardless of the setting of this game, there's a good chance it'll get you. The father-daughter dynamics, the multiple love interest kind of romance dynamics, the pride, like sort of kinging country and the invaders and holding them off, and there's lots of tropes. Really, they're like archetypes that some of the best stories are based on that they just somehow nail. So who knows? We'll see where that goes. But I popped out a few episodes today just to get the ball rolling. At the same time, I don't want to abandon these other series. I still enjoy these other games, and I've got a good handful of you guys that have been checking them out and following it. I really appreciate it, and I want to make sure that we keep that going. Got a photo op. Oh, we got a photo opportunity here. We can check it out maybe at the light. Take a quick picture there. Historic District of Bozeman. Let's get a couple photos. Okay. And I'm sorry, I want to make sure that I got that trophy too. I was so distracted. Yeah, we got it. Come on. Just soaking up the town here. This is a pretty big one, relatively speaking. We're getting tired though, so I think on the outskirts of town here is where we plan to rest. Big school, wow. Nice big high school. A little tight with the trailer there, but we're okay. Let's get outside the truck for a second and have a look. Really amazing landscaping over there. And modern buildings. Like that coffee shop's crazy. Red light violation. Oh. I saw them take it off and I thought we had a green. I deserve that. Stupidly looking around, didn't double check. What was that, 600 bones? Okay, it was saying left at light that we have to hit that way station, but we can bypass, but we're not even going in there. We need this rest stop. We'll fuel up first. Always such tight spaces, like obviously not engineered for trucks. Pretty good gas price. We're gonna need to back in here. Not exactly the best job, but hey, we'll still take it. It's a little unfortunate that we wake up to the rain and it's some ungodly hour. That's simulation for you. We're not going to fight it. And who knows, it might end up clearing up and being a beautiful day by the time we get to the tail end of this delivery. So we are fueled up, rested up, and ready to take on the rest of this journey. Really lucrative contract. So in all honesty, I had to step away while we rested there. And it was, I think yesterday, might have even been the day before, but finally back, ready to dig into the rest of this episode. And I got thinking, I should not be discussing The Witcher in a game like this that I have no relation. And there's a lot more that could be said. I mean, the fact that it has sold 60 million copies, the fact they've announced a giant expansion for the game that's going to be coming out sometime next year on an 11-year-old game, which is really unheard of. You don't get games that are more than a decade old that are releasing like big content out of nowhere when it's not a live service game. It's a standalone single player. It's no multiplayer, no store, no in-game purchases, none of that stuff. So it's really quite unique. And fans, of course, are very excited about that. And I think it's meant to transition the story to the new Witcher game. The Witcher 4 is announced, it's been teased, trailer. It's going to be the next 2 or 3 years, maybe something like that. It'll be a while before it comes out. And I'm skeptic, to be honest. I'm concerned about it for various reasons, mostly ESG and social reasons. That company has seemingly become poisoned a little bit, a little too much activism in there, and so I have reason to be concerned. But anyway, we'll stop talking about The Witcher 3. You know, in real life, okay, gotta be careful around these winding turns here. In real life, I would consider myself almost as a criticism or like a weakness of mine that I can tend to be long-winded, especially in text form, like text or email. It's something I really have to consciously fight against. to not be long-winded. And so what a great platform if you're going to create content, and especially in a game like this where it's just hours and hours of driving and discussing things, I guess, that it seems like the perfect avenue for me, but it's a lot different than having a discussion or a conversation. And so up until now, I have just ranted about things or told stories, which is okay. But in the time between recording on this particular episode, I think there's a couple of changes I'm going to make. And this is in line with my overall view of content creation, which is just try to continually learn and improve and progress. And it can be the tiniest little incremental baby steps, but just be conscious of moving forward. And so what that means for this series is, for one, I'm going to potentially allow for much longer stretches of driving where I'm not saying anything. I think I felt obligated that, okay, well, what is this? It's content creation and entertainment, right? And it feels lazy or it just doesn't feel appropriate to me to just hit record and go drive and to say nothing and hope that the scenery is enough to entertain people. It is for some, I know that, and there's other series that do that exact thing, where they don't really commentate, or they do partly commentating. But I think silence is better than forced conversation sometimes, and especially if it's a long episode, an hour or more. There's nothing wrong with having 20 minutes worth or 30 minutes worth of just quiet stretches. And you just hear the engine of the truck. And then, of course, I'll interject with things that we see that I want to highlight, or just thoughts that I have that are organic, that I think are worth touching on. So I'm kind of giving myself permission to incorporate that in this series, that I don't always need to be whatever, telling a story or discussing a topic. Because I think something else that I've juggled as I think about what I would like to say in these is I'm opinionated. I've really stepped away from politics as a whole, because I just find that it's cancerous. Like, it's just toxic. It's a never-ending rotating door of a news feed, and everything is existential. Everyone hates each other. It's not productive. It's really just another form of entertainment, and people who are into it become addicted to it. Some even adopt it almost like a religion, where they are zealots, and but it's wrought with intolerance and whatever. It's it can be a harsh environment. So I've increasingly stepped away for quite a while now, which has been awesome. But there's a lot of topics that are somewhat political, like not explicitly, but they are often in the political realm. And I don't know whether or not to tread on any of them. I mean, they could be interesting. At the same time, I don't want to get into controversial stuff necessarily, or heavy stuff and turn anyone off. We play games to escape. And I think, especially a game like this, where, and there shouldn't be a single controversial thing about this game or watching this game. So I've got to be careful, make a conscious effort not to step into that or let it creep in, I don't know, to at least think about it. Oh, we're just crossing the border of Idaho. It's exciting. And it looks like the weather's clearing slightly. It is morning now. But in the same vein of everything that I've been discussing about making changes and learning how to create this content or what I want it to be, all these things, another thing I'm going to do is take notes. Ooh, there's a policeman on a motorcycle. It's kind of not highly visible. I'm going to take notes of when I have conversations in real life, when I simply have thoughts that I think are important or interesting on my own, or when I see YouTube videos that bring up a topic that I think is worth discussing a little bit more. I'm going to just keep a really simple list on my phone and remember to just type in a few words. Because I think the possibilities really are not endless, but there's no shortage of them. And it's just a matter of remembering sort of things that I wanted to talk about. And so I'm going to do better with that. I'm making a conscious effort and being proactive, intentional. Because I think it's possible for me to even dread recording a little bit going forward if I'm like, well, what am I? Okay, I'm about to sit down for an hour and go trucking. But what am I going to talk about? That's kind of become a thing. I mean, early on in this series, I think mostly what I talked about was just YouTube. That was the most relevant. I was just starting this channel. It's still, 5 weeks old? And I've never had a channel before this, by the way. I've never done any other content creation before this 5 weeks ago. And so I talked about that a lot. A lot about like settings and stupid stuff that I've been dealing with. But it'll be less and less about that, or it should be anyway. Well, this day is turning a corner. It's starting to get a little bit nicer. And I'm sorry about the dogs. I wonder, like, if I ever got bigger, if I kept at this and did it for oh, we could bypass this station, nice. Like, what would I do? I would have to, I don't really have a standalone room in my house that's a good candidate. I live in it's a smaller place, like 1,000 square feet, maybe something like that ish. I don't exactly just have a different room that I would throw my whole setup into and have that as like a workstation or office. And I'm never not going to have a dog. And right now I've got 2 dogs, my parents, that's worse. But, I guess like I've mentioned, like I could put my dog in the other room. He's got tons of space, just for an hour or two if I'm recording. I suppose that's doable. I just never normally do that. This isn't exactly... Ooh. That's quite a sun... Okay. I kind of just saw these trailers on the side. Well, and the skybox in front of us was nice. And so I just wanted to catch something before I forget. Oh man, I got to think about what we're going to do next. So this is 34,000, I believe. Loan payment will come out today. So let's say, well, just over 100,000, 105, 110. And then I think we end up taking out a bigger loan. So this will for sure get our bank loan paid. And then it's just a matter of if we got a trailer, it's another $100K loan maybe. Recently, I've been leaning back more towards employees. I haven't played this game enough or too deep into those mechanics, which will make it a little more painful because I got to feel my way through it and figure it out and stuff. But so I do kind of want to experience them. We want to experience all that. But I suppose if we get some good employees, starting with one, but maybe we can get a couple up and going relatively quick, especially if we find some super cheap trucks. I don't know, just get them making, I don't know how much, like a couple grand a day each or something. Well, it can really help to accelerate the rest of our growth. Maybe that's the idea, but it would be forever until we got that loan paid off. Although I think you get a little bit of a better rate. Like the 100,000, it's 1,800 and change per day. And I think the 400,000, I think it's like 5,800. Maybe 6,800, I don't know. But it's not 4 times as much. That would be 7,200 would be 4 times $100,000 payment. So it's actually kind of more affordable as a percentage, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you would know. What does an employee, like a very, very beginner starter employee, make per day? I would think 2, maybe 3 grand tops is what I would guess. But that's not too bad. I mean, if we could get 2 of them on the road, that would mean like 4,000, 5,000 a day. That's almost a loan payment. And if we took out a $400,000 loan, we got to get a garage. That's $180,000. We get a couple of used trucks, so call that $100,000. Because I'll get those dirty, cheap ones potentially if that's what we got to do to start. So that's $100K. That's $280, and then it's cheap to hire people. It's $1,500. So that's easy. We could even still get our trailer. We could do it all at once. Potentially. It's going to be a big moment deciding and putting that in place and spending all that. And then I would like a good bit of slush in the account if possible, like at least 20 grand, maybe upwards of 40 or 50 just to allow for surprises. And I was thinking, I think we would go to Coeur d'Alene. Even though I'm not a big fan of Frenchies, we specifically drove by there in a previous episode, and I said, I staked the claim, that's going to be ours someday. And then I think I said all of them in Idaho are going to be ours, but we specifically called out that one. So that feels like the one that we identified, called out, grab that one first. And pretty sure that the most efficient, like the smartest move is to buy a separate garage, because then you get 3 bays, as opposed to if we upgrade our existing one, we still have to pay $180K and we end up with 3 bays. So you get 2 additional bays for that price. So I think that's the reasoning, like that's the most sound approach to it. And that all is fine with me. It stays within Idaho. We spread our wings a little bit, grow elsewhere. And I suppose maybe we would relocate to Coeur d'Alene with one employee, and then we could have another employee so that they are spread out, covering that local territory. And meanwhile, we are the long haul trucker that goes abroad more. Got about 3 hours left. Actually, I just want to have a quick look at our map. We've been down this highway before, so we're on 30, then onto 84. Should be pretty clean freeway driving, and we're going to be passing by Twin Falls. How did we not get this cinematic? Or maybe it was on the wrong side of the road or something. And we won't have to rest or anything. We just got a clean, straight shot there. I don't think this episode's going to be too crazy long either. It'll be right around an hour-ish. I've been blown away, though, you guys. The action this series has gotten. I mean, it goes to show it's more of a mature audience. Like, you're all dudes, middle-aged dudes who are patient. You just throw something on the TV in the background or whatever, and you like it to be trucking. But it's been basically the most popular series on the channel. That's awesome. Stay in the left lane and make sure all these people can enter the freeway nice and smooth. We don't get to go 70 very often. Come on, buddy. Pull down into the left lane. And you squeeze us all in like this? Come on. Give him a little wake up. Is that how it's going to be? Right? Oh boy. Okay. That truck's coming through pretty hot on my right. Well, that was a bad move on my part. But maybe that'll help it clear up in front of us. I shouldn't be impatient like that, though, either. We'd like to grab at least one more photo. I'm sure if the ones that we grabbed already are top-notch enough. know, when I'm not chatting, I think I can lock in on driving a little better. Staying within my own lanes, being more aware of the speed limits. It's not a bad thing. I'm feeling this now. I might even get some footage started on the next episode tonight. Like, I am such a beginner basic that I'm only now learning about making clips. Like how, like storing files and how, like, okay, well, one episode, yeah, it might be like 3 or 4 different video clips. Plus, maybe it's got 1 or 2 or 3 separate audio recordings, and then piecing that together in CapCut. And whereas early on, it was literally just one file, and I didn't stop the recordings. I would just pause them if I had to step away. It made it simpler for me. But I'm realizing that with normal projects and all sorts of other content and stuff, it's like people will have like 100 video clips because it's different memes and sounds and all kinds of little things that they're piecing into a video. That it's like, yeah, no shit, you've got like 100 different files in a folder that's all for that one episode. I'm just starting to kind of put that together and realize and see how it's done. And I think it's an important step. I think I can honestly say that I don't hate the post-production quite as much now as I did, say, a week ago, where I really dreaded it, or a couple weeks ago, because I was so not intimidated, but like it's just daunting and like annoying to have to go in and don't know where anything is, don't know how to do anything, don't know any of the shortcut keys, and then formatting stuff. Like, I messed up a couple videos. The one in particular that was perfect, and I realized after what happened, it was in CapCut, that I hadn't changed the canvas size because I didn't even know how. I didn't know where to change it. And so rather than 16 by 9 and 21 by 9, like, it was the wrong canvas. And so I had already edited it, like it was fully ready to publish, and that's when I caught it and realized there's all kinds of just lessons that I'm now learning, and it's less likely that I'll make those same mistakes, which is good. And overall, I'm just getting quicker at it. I've also, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I've learned how to separate the audio properly, and now record onto multiple audio tracks so that the gameplay and my voice are separate tracks, and that way I can balance them better and take out, because when I talk, I've got really harsh S's, I guess my teeth probably, and P's that are poppy. And so yeah, that's probably has to do partly with mic location and a second pop filter, because I mean, this mic already has one, but instead I've discovered a way to soften and improve that within the software. That was another big step, being able to enhance my voice a little bit. So I'm dreading that process less, and I still don't want to get bogged down into having to edit too much, but I also have to recognize and appreciate that it's just part of the process. We are almost here. I think the title of this video is one of the easier ones. We'll just be able to call it our biggest contract yet, which is true. And I suppose the next one might be something like we buy our first garage or something. It's good stuff. This is episode 10, I believe. So it's been a little bit of a slow burn. It's probably, 11, 12 hours, something like that of gameplay. And we're finally getting there. Oh, wow. I almost feel guilty when they're this easy, but I'm also not mad about it. Am I going to get out of here? Don't worry about that after. Oh, okay. I should have been paying closer attention. There we go. We're in the right spot now. We get pulled out of the green. Excellent. Crawler tractor delivered from Billings to Nampa. 22 hours taken. 640 miles. Long distance bonus of almost 2,600. And it was high value cargo. Almost $33,000. And I didn't catch it, but I think we leveled up as well. We get another point. And we already got long distance. I think we continue to unlock these ones. Now, got acids, corrosives, poisons, and biohazards. And then flammable solids. I'm thinking like these two look more interesting. How about a skull? Poisons and biohazards. Let's get that. I don't know. I haven't seen any of these yet. I don't think we've done any of those types of hazardous materials. Whoops. What happened there? Okay. I want to see which images we did get. Okay. This was with that same tractor, so we did get quite a few. This one here in town's not bad. And the sunset, that might be a good one. We'll see. We got trailer upgrades, which aren't relevant to us yet. Ooh, I think we got, look at that, bulk feed and trip van. Okay, starting to get some pretty unique stuff there, I think. A lot of options, which is great. So when we do go down that road, we'll have a lot of things at our fingertips. How about for the truck, though? We got rims. Bull bar, it's all for the 389. New door handles for us and a new bull bar. Mud flaps. Oh, exclusive mud flaps. Exclusive sun visor. And new paint available, which is expensive, but that's exciting. Okay, let's take a look at our bank. So we're at 109,000 right now. It's 85 to pay it off. And you know what? We're going to do it to finish this episode. Why not? We are free and clear with 23, almost 24K in the bank cash. No more loan payments. And yeah, look, it's only $5,800 a day for this large loan payment. Seems pretty reasonable. Let's have a quick look at the truck market, the used trucks. So 24 grand and then 52. That's a 3-star. I almost feel like we should buy that. The amount of miles, 585, 342. They're both international $9,900s. Well, we're not going to do it yet. I think all of the different moves are going to be more appropriate to dig into the next episode. And I wonder, can I get rid of, select all, and then unselect them? And then I want to see garages for sale. Okay, so there they all are. I also want the town names. What are those? City names. Okay. So Salmon, which we have not even been to yet, has one available. Idaho Falls. Helena. Coeur d'Alene was the one that we had identified. Oh, Helena's in Montana, though. So Coeur d'Alene, Salmon, Idaho Falls. Oh, and then right here, actually, in Boise, in Ontario. So one of those, somewhere, maybe Salmon would be close to the Montana border. Then again, Coeur d'Alene close to Washington. And Coeur d'Alene a little further away from Twin Falls. It feels like a better sort of depot to be spread out a little. Yeah. I don't know, guys. We'll have to see. But that was a great episode. Appreciate you guys joining in, and I'm excited to join me in the next one, and we'll see what happens. Until then, take care.